school-based leader. This is not the district leader. This is the school-based leader. Typically what we're talking about is principals and assistant principals. Principals are often evaluated by a district level person, such as a superintendent or a superintendent's designee. The assistant principals within the school are typically evaluated by the principal or whomever the superintendent designates as the evaluator of the APs. But I'm saying, like in a typical situation, that's who it is. Now, first of all, look at your second sheet that I passed out to you. I said, here's sheet 1 and sheet 2. What is the first thing you notice? They look very much alike, don't they? That is a wonderful thing to keep in mind. That has made a tremendous impact on our teachers, is knowing that what the leaders are being evaluated on is very, very similar to what they're being evaluated on. And in some cases, the actual evaluation from the teachers, portions of it, is actually building for the leader. So that again is building that partnership in excellence together. I had a colleague who made this statement. He said, after going through this past year, I know my teachers better than I have ever known them before, and I've been in this school for 5 years. I know them better because of that partnership. Now, with the leader keys, remember we've got over on this side, on this left side, we've got what's called the LAPS, or the Leader Assessment on Performance Standards. Then we have governance and leadership. Within that is a climate survey, student attendance, and retention of effective teachers. Again, do you see this big arrow? That big arrow is there to show you that this section informs the standards. It is no longer a standalone component. The last part is the student growth and academic achievement. And basically it is very similar to the teachers, but what you're looking at is compiling all of that information from the classroom and then looking at it at a school level. You can also look at it at a district level.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
That's okay, please don't apologize.
I noticed that we have the student survey.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
we do not have a teacher survey on principals.
Yes, we do.
Yes,
Yes,
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't see it, so I didn't know.
Well, I'm getting to
You
it.
didn't, okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay, that's okay, please don't apologize. Here are the 8 standards and the 4 domains that are part of leader keys. Again, the domains are the big ideas. We've got school leadership, organizational leadership, human resources leadership, and professionalism and communication. Very similar structured, very similarly to the teacher keys in that we've got the big ideas with the standards found under it. And again, this is strong research base behind both of these. And it's good, effective leadership practice. Now, part of the leader assessment on performance standards is those 8 standards plus setting goals. And here is a process that's followed for LAPS. Remember, we're still on the left-hand side. You begin with an orientation, just like with teachers. You go through the self-assessment, just like with teachers. You go through the pre-evaluation conference with your evaluator, just like teachers. The one thing that is different is that leaders are asked to set 2 goals for themselves for the year. And one of those goals we suggest come from their school improvement plan. And as an old principal, I lived and breathed by my school improvement plan. That was what my community, my board of education, my superintendent, everybody knew what my school improvement plan was all about. So what we're saying is that one of your goals, one of the 2, needs, or we recommend, highly recommend, that it come from that school improvement plan. You can also go and look at your self-assessment and maybe set a goal from that. Or as a system, Your systems may have priorities out there or goals for the year, and that performance goal could come from that. So there's a lot of different options available to leaders when they select their performance goal. After they select those two goals, then they go back and they look at those standards. And they say, you know what, this goal aligns to standard 3 and 4. And this goal aligns to standard 5 and 6. So what they do is then they see where those performance goals will support those standards. So again, it's meshing together. It's fitting together. Then, after that, the whole process for Leader Keys is going through and documenting your practice. Let me say this very quickly. It is documents that are already there. As a leader, we have staff handbooks, we have school improvement plans, we have crisis management plans, we have professional learning plans, we have, you know, on and on and on. Those are the documents that we're talking about. And as a leader, look at your documents and then align them to the standards. You do not go out and create additional documents. What you're looking at is what you are doing, best practices, and aligning those to those standards. Then you are also remembering that you are progressing toward your goals. Then at the middle of the year, by February, you meet with your evaluator. And your evaluator meets with the leader, and they basically touch base. It's kind of like a halftime report. One of my the specialists said that, and it made sense to me. It was like a halftime, you know, where the coach brings the team back in and says, how are we doing? We need to make adjustments here, and you're doing a great job in this area. That's basically what superintendents will be doing for their team of leaders, is just touching base with them. They may say, you know, you're doing a great job, Pam, but I want you to continue to work on this area and shoot me a couple of things that you do along the way to show me how you're progressing. That's documentation. It's very simple. It's basically communication. One of the ladies in the back said that. It's all about communication. Then, at the end of the year, you are doing your summative assessment, just like with the teachers. You're meeting together and you're discussing your progress on your goals. How did you do this year with your standards? And then, what are we looking at for next year? Now, with governance and leadership, as it supports the standards, we are talking about climate surveys of teachers and staff. We're talking about student attendance, which is basically, it is what it is. It's collected throughout the year. Then we're looking at the retention of effective teachers, which will be supported through Teacher Keys. Then, here's an example of the surveys. And the surveys will be given to certified and classified. So you're looking at straightforward statements that will be given to those two groups within the school who have perception of the leader at the school.
Where will those surveys go? Who gets them?
They're online.
I know, but I mean,
They are within a report.
so we go to the superintendent.
Evaluator.
So we go
It
to
goes
the
directly to the
The
evaluator.
superintendent, if he was.
Well, it goes directly to the evaluator.
It goes to that person.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They are anonymous and they are online. Yes, ma'am, thank you.
And then they go to Atlanta? Does the superintendent have to turn all that in, the evaluation into Atlanta? I mean, wherever it goes?
It's
Just
part of
stays
this
on the
electronic
electronic
platform.
Okay.
This
So it
open-
goes
You know,
somewhere.
it goes.
Is this open record? I mean,
No.
anybody
No.
can.
I wouldn't think evaluation would be open.
It is an evaluation. With student growth and academic achievement, we are continuing to work on this for school leaders, to be measured for our school leaders. And how will it come together for a trustworthy and